What's up, guys? Hey, it is Tuesday, the 18th. It's been interesting. I was on a very long flight yesterday that put me into my present location at about 3 a.m. my time. It is now 9 a.m. my time. Actually, no, it was probably about 5 a.m. my time, to be honest. So it's 3 a.m. here. So I just want to get some information out to you guys, looking and trying to digest what's going on in the market. A little bit of a beating out there. Ever since we fell through that floor that I was watching for, I was trying to see if it would hold. And we held quite a bit. We've seen things just kind of go crazy, right? And so what we're seeing out there is yields going up significantly. So let me, meaning things are on the rise, right? Rates are on the rise, therefore the yield would be on the rise. Meaning if your interest rate went up, whoever loaned you that money, their return goes higher, therefore their yield is higher. So that's basically what it is. So let's take a look at the 10-year. Now I took this chart from a service that I'm always watching, and he was kind of showing this map out of the 10-year. So this is the 10-year Treasury. So when you start looking at this, we always watch if the 10-year Treasury is going up, interest rates are going up, right? Because that means this is the yield is what this is referencing. So when it's going down, this is when interest rates are going down, right? So now it's on its way back up. And this is a key support, a key line, we'd call it support, but it'd be more of a ceiling for trying to keep that from going above that. But he also has this channel. It's kind of hard to see this channel drawn, but we're going to be playing within this. Now, if we continue in this channel, we could see significant increase in the 10-year yield, therefore the interest rate going up, or the rate transitioning to a rate increase on our side if it has direct correlation to mortgage-backed securities, which many people do watch the 10-year as a way to determine what's happening in the bonds, because the 10-year is one of the most recognized bond. And so we've got this particular support that is referencing here. We have another support up here, but that's going to take us to some pretty heavy hits. This goes all the way back between 2018 and 19 is where this peak is. And if you guys remember back to the end of 2018, that's when the Fed completely cut off all purchasing of mortgage-backed securities as a way to try and slow some of those things down out there. And it's when they completely got off of their quantitative easing. And then interest rates just significantly increased as a result. So as you can see here, this significant increase. Well, back up in this direction. So my mind has to shift back from Treasury to MBS here. So that right there is always a concern to people like myself who are watching the market and watching interest rates and what's going to affect interest rates. The 10-year is currently having at least a lot of influence just because it's telling us what the market is doing as a whole. I want to get into see here what's going on into the actual MBS here. It's not as easy to switch screens here when I'm on the road and I have just one screen, but I want to show you what I'm seeing in the mortgage-backed securities. Now, this is the 2.5, right? This is the one that we were watching driving mortgage, the owner-occupied rate. So it's literally driving things off a cliff, if you will. And that was, back here was where I was saying, back where my cursor is, will show you where that line was that we were watching rather significantly. It was actually just a little bit higher, 101.90 is what I was looking at. Maybe it's a little bit lower, 101.80. Hard to say exactly where it was. I'm not an extreme expert here, but I was looking back. If you go back far enough distance, somewhere in that area was a very key hold. But as you can see, when we got below it, look what happened. Completely fell off the cliff, like we had said. Now, this looked like last week, you get right in here, that we'd had some support because it kept bouncing off this, but then it pierced that support this morning. So you can see this massive gap down. Well, here is some support we have here. Is what's being drawn by experts. This is the support that they're saying that we have some support right here. Hopefully it'll hold. There's definitely support down here. The lower one, a little bit more based upon when we start looking where everything bounced off of it in the past. That one looks to be a little bit more established. The higher one that we just put in here, that's offered after some gap openings, some gap closings. If you look back in the history of the bond, but I went back and I did I'm showing this particular trend line here, this downward trend. Gaps like to close, right? So we had this gap up opening or gap down closing. I'm thinking we could come back here and close this gap and get back up in here. So today may or may not be the awesomest day to pull the rate trigger, but then again, we're in unprecedented waters. When you think about everything that's going on in the world right now, very, very unprecedented time. We're seeing some things that we've never experienced before. The way that we have, if we want to get into the politics of stuff, the way things are going just makes zero sense, other than just, it's just bluntly totalitarian takeover. When you're talking about power, then things make tons of sense, right? And you're talking about, what's best for the citizens of the United States, what's best for the people here. None of this makes sense, right? So when you're thinking it from the mindset of, hey, I'm a U.S. citizen and this is what should be going on, and then I don't get what's going on here. But you flip into another mindset, and like, okay, all this makes tons of sense, right? Just from that perspective. I don't want to get into any of that kind of stuff here, but believe me, I'm scratching my head a hell of a lot. But the other thing we also know, these, as you can see here, it likes to touch these downward channels quite often. So there is a chance we can go back and challenge this upward channel, this downward channel at some point, just because that's the nature of things. Where I don't know, guys, I wished I could give you an idea what to expect here, but I have no clue what we should expect. But what I can tell you is that we need to, just be happy with what we have, right? I know that things are worse than what we had seen in the past, but what your attitude towards things is really a choice of yours. It's up to you how you interpret these events and whether or not this is something that's good or something bad. We can definitely see it as something bad. It's easy to find something bad. In fact, you find something bad, you're gonna put yourself in a state of mind where you're going to validate that. You're always going to look for what it is, right? Whatever state of mind you have is the state of mind you're going to validate with whatever it is you're going to find, right? So if you find that things are really miserable today, you're going to find everything in the world to solidify that, or to validate, or to ensure that it is miserable because of all these other events, that therefore it makes your perspective correct. You can also find that things are kicking ass, right? In this particular thing, how do we find something that's kicking ass right here? Well, when it comes to mortgage-backed securities right now, it's kind of hard to see that, but at the same time, dude, we got a gift for the last little while. We got a better opportunity than we've ever had, ever in the history of mankind, to be able to get the lowest rates ever. But you also look what's going on in inflation. It doesn't matter what those rates do for the next little while. They can go up 2-3 points, and we'll still be in a phenomenal interest rate position comparative to what the cost of living is compared to what the dollar is doing in value. So don't allow interest rate increase to freak you out so much. In fact, allow the next guy to freak out about that. Allow the next guy to have a problem with that. Allow him to back out of the market and not look for opportunity while you continue to look for opportunity. You can eat out of his dog dish, right? So this right there is a great separator of those who do not have the stomach for it and those who do. So, take some Pepto, get that stomach right, and get out there and find the deals. The deals are still in existence. And all this rate movement is doing is making people go shop more that don't have the right mental mindset. And the people that are out there trying to, man, what, and they're going to mire in the fact that they missed their great opportunity. Let them do it. Don't stop them. Don't try and talk them out of it. You go find the deal that they're not looking for, right? So that's what the main thing I want to let you guys know. It's all up to you. Right. We're still doing business. We're still hammering out. I'm still refinancing properties. I'm still buying properties. I just closed on 2 more out in Florida myself. So do not stop. Allow this to stop the weaker person. Focus on your business. Focus on what is right with your business, which getting the right people, find the right opportunities, regardless of what the market says, as far as the rates are concerned, and go out there and kick ass. So you need anything, reach out to us. My staff has got you this week. I'm kind of in and out, may not be really available. So my staff's got you covered. I've got the best people in the industry. At least I believe so. And if somebody else says that they got better, I'll take Pepsi challenge against those some bitches any day.